Okay, I wanted to just check in with you. Doing a video on the ALARON or however you pronounce that, and I did a complete repair all the way through on this tape machine and tape recorder, and um, just wanted to bring you up to speed. Right now, we're at the place where we've gotten the transport working just barely. So in part 3, I'm going to grind the tires on the machine themselves. I'm going to grind them with the Dremel and take off a coating of that glazing and also remove the bump on the tire on the rewind that you saw. So that's what this video will do, and then we'll get all the way through and start doing some testing. I'm trying to do them in 25 minute segments so that you don't have to watch an hour long video. So I hope you're enjoying this series, and don't hesitate to make comments or questions or ideas, solutions, whatever. And I still haven't figured out what that little piece that I found in there is for. Alrighty, there we go. Still haven't found a home for this. And I still think that has something to do with the battery compartment lock mechanism. Alright, so let's put this back together. Got to get this lined up correctly. But it might be easier to do it this way. That goes under that. There we go. Okay. There we go. Oh, got this in the wrong place. See that? Got to pull it apart. Got the rewind depression mechanism in the wrong place. So let's do this again here. So it pushes down on this. So let's get it back under there and keep it under there. Off. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, let's just see. I don't know whether this rewind is going to work or not. Well, it's trying. You can see it's trying. And that's because of that flat tire. So we'll just have to fiddle. We're going to grind that tire off. That's what we're going to have to do. But the forward is working quite nicely. But you can see the rewind is really struggling. Okay, so let's do this. Let's check the rest of the unit, make sure that it's playing audio, and then we'll take this back apart and I'll show you how I would grind those wheels down. I have a little procedure I use to grind the wheels flatter, and then we'll put it all back together. So I'm going to set this. I can't set it here because it interferes with the motor. So I need to find the case wherever I left it. And I don't know if there's anything on this tape. It's always really a lot of fun to discover what ends up, what is on these tapes when I get them from eBay or wherever I get them. So we're going to discover this together. There may not be anything on it, but 9 times out of 10, somebody has recorded something. Might be some kids goofing off. Might be a sermon. Somebody recorded a radio program, or let's see, are we all the way down? No, we're not. There we go. No, we're still not down on it. Can't quite get it lined up. Not sure. Oh, there it goes. Okay. All right, so let's see. We got it in play. Got the volume up. Could very well be blank. Let's rewind. Okay, I've got another tape here. Definitely a problem with the recording. Could be that this has been exposed to magnetic fields, magnets or whatever, and it could have damaged the recording. But we'll back all the way up to the beginning just to see. Okay. There was a little bit. You can hear some music in the background. Okay, enough of that. Let's put this tape on. I don't even know what's on this tape. Not even sure I've ever played it. We'll see. Rewind's working a little better. We need to pull this cover off and clean the, there we go, clean the head. There we go. Man. This tape reel is just about too small. Okay, if I can get this tape off here. There we go. That fits a lot better. I don't use masking tape. In fact, I'm going to cut that off. I don't use masking tape on these reels. Just gums things up. Okay. I have no idea if there's anything on this tape. And if there isn't, we'll record something on it to test the record functionality. Okay, here we go. Somebody was checking their mic out. All right, very faint audio. We might be hearing the other side of the tape too. So just for kicks, let's just flip the reels. This might be blank on this side, and there might be something on the other side. So let's just test that theory. Okay, this is a good place to take pause. I'm going to plug in a little realistic head demagnetizer. I've used this for 30 years. In repairs and such. You can see my screwdriver is magnetic. So I want to demagnetize it. And all this does is puts an AC current all over the tip of the driver here, and it still is magnetized. So let's do some more. Okay. Still got some magnetizing in it. There we go. Got rid of the magnetizing. Okay, so reason I'm doing that is because I need to work around these tape recorder heads, and I don't want to introduce a magnetic field and demagnetize or magnetize the heads. And so there's the head. Let me pull this up so you can see it a little better. There's a little bit of crud on the demagnetizer magnet. So we switch to record. You see what happens here? The magnet comes in contact with the tape and demagnetizes the tape as it's passing through and scrambles the recording. So we'll clean that up just a little bit. Got a little bit of sticky goo on it. There we go. And we're going to demagnetize this. So we turn the demagnetizer on and we just pass it back and forth over the head several times while it's turned on. And it removes any magnetizing or permanent magnetic fields. Okay. So, done and done. That's demagnetizing tape recorder head. I have some denatured alcohol here to clean the head, and it picks up a lot of the oxide material off of the tape. Sometimes they're so dirty they can't even be in contact with the tape. This is pretty clean. You can see the tip of that is pretty clean. We'll try another end here and see if we can clean it any better with some brake cleaner. Just clean the entire face of the tape head, and there's a little more crud there. You can see that it's come off. But generally speaking, we clean the tape paths where the tape rides over. And again, I'm going to touch up this magnet just to make sure it's clean. So we got some dirt off of everything, you can see, but not too bad. So let's put the little cover back on. And again, it's a good idea to use demagnetized tools when you're doing this stuff around the tape head or working around tapes. Alright, so we're going to put this tape away and we're going to listen. We are still going to record, but let's just see this. I think this is a article written by a journalist or a pastor, not even sure, and he's doing a biography on a particular speaker that's going to be preaching in a series of meetings in a church in doesn't even say where. I think it was North Carolina. I think that the meetings were going to be in North Carolina. So let's get this in here. Really stiff. There we go. This tape is way too full, as you can see, and so it just pours out over the edges. All right, let's see what we have here. You can hear the clunk. You can hear the clunk on the tape because of that notch. Okay. Okay, it's a 4-year-old talking to somebody, an adult. Not hearing very well here. Listening to this tape like this reminds me of watching Shango 66 videos where he goes up and down the AM band listening to the the radio stations, and I always watch every minute of his videos, but I just chuckle when I watch those because we're all just kind of hanging there listening to the AM band from 550 all the way up to 17 or whatever it is. So here we are listening to a tape that's got virtually nothing on it. Somebody's trying to work with a mic. Yeah, it's clearly the wrong speed. So let's rewind it. Whoop. Yeah, let's rewind it. And, come on, sweetie. Rewind. Let's go. It's not that hard. Not that hard. You definitely need to fix that tire. That's really the problem. And when I grind that tire down, I'll grind the glaze off of it and it'll work a lot better. Alright, well, we'll just do this manually. And since there's nothing of any real value on this tape, I'm just going to record over it. Okay, we'll stop it there. And we will plug, it says mic and remote. It's interesting, they're the same diameter, so we can get them confused easily on the plug here. We're not careful. So mic goes over here. So let's just see how it works. Forward, record, and now we'll turn it on. Well, good morning. Today is April 25th, 2020. We are testing an ALARON 4-transistor tape recorder, model number HR-407. We are enjoying doing a repair of the recorder and getting the transport system to work correctly. And now we're testing the recording functionality of the tape recorder. Okay, so see, it won't rewind and record. Take that off. Now it'll work. Well, when we get the tire fixed on the rewind, it'll work a lot better. Kind of funny how it's just not quite strong enough. All right, let's see if that was enough to. We are testing an ALARON 4-transistor tape recorder, model number HR-407 All right, now we're going to do one other thing. We very likely have a transistor or a capacitor, more likely a capacitor that's shorting, killing our audio output. But just to be sure, and just for a test, we're going to swap microphones. I've got a couple of other mics here. You may recall that we used the Craig mic. We can't plug the Craig mic into here because it's too in the wrong connection. But I do have a single mono microphone. This is genuinely vintage stuff here, isn't it? So let's plug that in and let's just record right from there. There's no switch on this mic. Hello, this is Kent Oviatt testing the ALARON HR-407 4-transistor tape recorder. We've just done a recording with the ALARON microphone, and we're testing to see if maybe that microphone is good or bad, and we're also testing the playback, recording and playback capability of the tape recorder. All right, rewind. Come on, Sugar Bear. You can do it. You can do it. We might be able to just tighten that tension a little bit, and that will make up the difference to be able to rewind on its own. Okay. Okay, this mic is hotter, but we still have a playback issue. So, or we could have a recording issue, but I suspect that we do have an amplifier issue. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to take this back apart. I'm going to grind that tire down on the rewind tire that we saw. I'm going to grind that tire down. I'll do a short clip on that. And then I'm going to do a cap replacement on the amplifier so that we can eliminate any cap issues with the amplifier. And then we'll reconvene here on the bench and see what progress we've made. Almost removed that notch. Almost impossible to see on camera. Hard enough to see with the naked eye. So let's wash this. Okay. And we'll blow it dry. Still quite a bit of crud there. Okay, we really have eliminated the bumps on the driven tire. Just ever so slightly drop of oil on the shaft. Okay. Put our E-clip back on. Okay. And let's just try the batteries. My coffee is ready. Okay. Turn on the rewind and push the rewind thing. Okay. Still a little bit of a bump. You can see the tensioner trembling just a little bit. That's a good indication that there's still a bump, but the tire is definitely gripping better and it is definitely smoother on rewind. So let's put it back together and see if it'll actually pull the tape through. Alrighty, I ground both the rewind tire and the plate tire and improved them significantly. First of all, let's watch it rewind. That was forward. Rewind. Nice and quiet and smooth. Look at that. And then the forward is very quiet. No more clunking. Just a hint of a clunk, but I don't want to take any more of that tire down. So very pleased with the grinding of these tires to smooth them out. Can't always do that, but this has worked on a number of these tape recorders that I have experimented with over time. So let's get the amplifier working correctly. We've got some caps in here I know are creating some problems. One of the things we could do is put a known audio source. I think the amp in will let us plug in an audio source. We'll experiment with that in just a minute, and we'll look at the manual to see what this actual amp in functionality is before we proceed.